Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here or you've been here before but have not subscribed yet, please do so, along with hitting that thumbs up button for me and dropping your comments. Definitely drop the comments. All right, this is an interesting video. This is a little bonus video I'm putting out that is going to look at the possibility if indeed the New York Knicks actually can shock the world. And what does that actually mean and how they could actually do it if they can. I'm going to break that all down. It's going to be really, I think it's going to be interesting. I'm definitely going to want to hear your feedback on it. But before we get to that, we got to relive last night's tremendous game-winning shot by Mr. Julius Randle. All right, let's go.
It's an elusive off the bounce.
Mitchell Robinson to set a screen. Now to Randle. Shot clock at 9. Butler on in. Randle double teamed and lost the ball. Hero took it away from him. Hero now dribbles into the paint, drives down a lane. Layup is good, and the Heat regain the lead. Knicks without a timeout. 22 seconds remaining. What a costly turnover.
Plenty of time to redeem themselves.
Brunson stopped by Oladipo. Comes back the other way. Brunson tied up. Finds Randle. Throws it low. Randle gets it back. 8 seconds to go. Randle on the drive. Stripped by Butler. Randle gets it back. Randle puts up a three. Bang! Bang! Randle knocks down the three with 7/10 of a second remaining.
Randle stumbling, bumbling after turning it over previously. Regained his composure, able to get the ball to go. Much to the chagrin of his partisan crowd.
There it is. There it is. You saw how even after you heard that Randle just ran over Thibs. Well, he was okay. They got him back up. He totally knocked them over in the celebration. What an amazing moment. Truly, I'm going to remember it for a very long time, especially if this season continues on the trajectory that it feels like it's headed. It's just, I feel like a kid again, basically watching these Knicks when I was a little kid watching them in the 70s. It's awesome. Now, there was something that RJ said preseason about these Knicks, about them being hungry, about them getting a taste of the playoffs, and about wanting desperately to get back there. So let's go and let's listen to what RJ said about that specifically.
Yeah, so it's definitely an extra motivation, especially, getting to taste what the playoffs is like, and then falling short there, and then to not end up where we wanted to last year. I think this year we're coming even more experienced, even more hungry. We have a lot of guys that have something to prove, myself included. I got everything to prove, so we're really coming with that mindset, and definitely think we're going to shock the world.
He thought they were going to shock the world. I wonder what he actually meant by that, what he thought he meant by that. It'll be interesting. Maybe we'll find out one day. Now, what's interesting is he started off with that. He said that preseason, and I really didn't pay much attention to it. It's like players, they try to set goals for themselves to motivate themselves, and you can see that he was hungry. He has had a disappointing season, even by his own standards. I'm sure he feels he's had a disappointing season. And it's interesting that once I went through looking at the situation, the numbers and everything, he's the key. He is the key. So, and he's here. He's here now. Teams don't get to the situation that often. Right now, the Knicks are firmly in 5th place, and they're going for 4th. And the question is 3rd even in reach? Let's get to breaking that part down. So here is where you see RJ, he was asked again before the Miami game, and he sidestepped the shock the world question. So before we get to that, we're going to look at that. Let's look at that here.
This morning about what's shocking or shocking the world. You guys, a win like this, is that shocking?
We played hard. We followed the game plan, and we got the job done.
Mousetraps? What is...
Talking to you this morning about what's shocking.
So you see him laughing. Obviously he was dodging it. I mean, at this point, it's not something you say in season. You definitely don't want to set those kind of. I mean, you want to set yourself up because then teams will be coming after you. But he did say it. He did say shock the world. So we are in the midst of finding out what that actually means. So let's get to here. Alan Hahn, I'm going to build this case for you now. Alan Hahn tweeted this out yesterday. Tom Thibodeau is the first Knicks coach since Red Holzman to have 2 winning streaks of at least 8 games in the same season. Reds 73 Knicks had an 8-game streak and an 11-game streak during that championship season. Yes, and that is, yeah, right, championship season. There you go. So we are now replicating the type of sustained winning that team did back then. Let's keep going. So right now, this is the Eastern Conference standings from as of last night after the game. So I haven't updated this. But right now, we're only 1 game behind the Cavs. And we are about, we're 3.5 games behind the Sixers. Now, this is going to be interesting. We're going to see what the Sixers are made of. If they can handle the pressure of a playoff run, a home stretch where everyone's going to be coming after them, because a lot of teams are vying for those play-ins, so they're not going to roll over. There's hardly any teams that are completely shutting it down. Even teams like the Bulls are after it. You know, the Pacers, they still have something to play for. You know, the Pacers are only 3 games from the 10th spot. And Orlando, I would say, they're kind of overachieving a little bit. You never know what can happen with young teams. Young teams can peak at some point later on, like right during, not peak, but keep getting better during the season. So we'll see. The point is, just because there's an average of like 18, 19 games or so left, doesn't mean these are going to be easy games at all. At all. Now, the Cleveland Cavaliers do have the weakest strength of schedule. They're playing the weakest opponents for the remainder of the season. And the Knicks, I'm talking about in the Eastern Conference, and the Knicks are playing the 3rd weakest. The Sixers are playing stiff competition. And similar with Miami, similar with the Nets. So this is going to be interesting to see how this shakes out. But I believe that it is imperative for the Knicks to have a chance to finish 3rd that they need to win 50 games. That's right, the big 5-0. Yes. Like this. This is how they're going to do it. All right. So this was originally, I had done this as the post All-Star game remainder of schedule, and I've been updating it. The Knicks have already overachieved over what I had originally projected. And so now I'm putting the game tomorrow. It's in Boston. I'm putting it down as a loss. However, if the Knicks win, then this 50-win season is definitely within reach. Because I think we're going to take care of business against Charlotte. The first game of this road trip out west begins in Sacramento. Sacramento's playing very well. They beat the Clippers again. The Knicks, we did have some luck against them before, but De'Aaron Fox didn't play. So it's going to be interesting. I'm putting it down as a loss. But I could easily see the Knicks winning that. And basically turning this into an 11-game winning streak by that point. But here's the big difference. I have now readjusted my opinion about how the Knicks are going to perform when they come to Los Angeles. And I think the Knicks are going to pull off the sweep of LA, the weekend sweep of LA. The Lakers are struggling. They're struggling. LeBron is not playing. He's hurt. AD is always a question mark. And when I had originally done this, I had given that W as an L. But now I'm readjusting it based upon things that have changed, like I said. And the Clippers, we played them well before. I think right now they're a little shook themselves, and I think we can take advantage of that. Especially our style of play matches up well with theirs, and I think we can take that game. And same with Portland. Denver, I'm putting that as a loss because they're going to want a little payback over us beating them. Now we beat them without the Joker, so they're going to be full strength, and they're a fantastic team. They might be, in my opinion right now, they might be my favorite to get to the NBA Finals from the West. I'm putting that out there. The next is the Timberwolves, who are also, they're battling, but I think we can take them. Miami, we're going back to Miami winning twice on your opponent's home court is tough. Is really tough. Look what it took for us to win this game. So maybe I'm thinking that one's going to be a loss, March 22nd. But then we're going to go on a nice 5-game winning streak against Orlando, Houston. We got Miami back at home. We're going to take care of that. And we have the most important remaining game of the season, which will be against Cleveland. That game right there could be for a battle for 4th or 3rd right there. And then we have the Wizards. Again, we match up well. I like our chances with them. We play the last 2 out of the last 3 games against Indiana, so I'm splitting those games, and then New Orleans will have nothing to play for by the end. So that means in the final 17 games of the season, the Knicks can go 12-5 to finish 50-32, which should be good enough for 3rd seed. Now, we may tie the Sixers for 3rd seed, so that could be interesting. So we'll see how this works out, but I believe right now the Knicks have a really good chance of doing this. And now, let me give you a little more support on this. Let me give you a little bit more. The efficiency landscape, the last 15 games, right there, the top right quadrant, and I pointed this out yesterday as well, the quadrant of wow. The Knicks are right there with like the Warriors, with the Cavs, with the Bucks. You see the Bucks are the outlier way up there. Number 1 net rating. They're 13th in offense, but number 1 in defense. The Cavs are number 2 in net rating. They're 5th in offense, 6th in defense. We're talking about the last 15 games because that's what I'm looking at right now. Because teams have changed, especially since the All-Star game. So it's important to look at what the teams are doing as of late, not look at the full season stats all the time. You can see the Sixers are struggling a little bit. They're still in the quadrant of wow, but they're right there on the borderline of defensive efficiency. They drop below it. And you see the Denver Nuggets are right above them. The Celtics are right there, number 5 net rating, 11th in offense, 10th in defense. But in the last 15 games, the Knicks are number 3 in overall net rating and number 2 in offense. It's crazy to think that the Knicks' primary method of winning games is by outscoring their opponent, by their offense. I'm not, especially a Tom Thibodeau team. It's kind of shocking. And in defense, we're at 14th. Now, mind you, we've only had Mitch back for 5 of those games. So he's made a big impact already. So let's hope that now, if we look at, let's say we look at the next 10 games from this point on, that defensive efficiency increases for the Knicks. Fingers crossed on that. And you can see other teams like the Wizards down below in the defensive area, the Clippers. They all have good offenses, but their defenses are struggling. Same even with the Kings. But I have the Kings winning that game. Now the Knicks could overachieve. Knicks could do better than I'm predicting right here. It could even go to 51, 52 wins. You know, we take care of business against the Kings, and we take care of business against Boston. The last game that we play against them, against Boston, this could be a totally different story. So, and then that would really, I would say, would shock the world. But that's not truly shock the world. Truly shock the world means advancing deep into the playoffs. So the better seeding that we get, if we get that 3rd seed and Milwaukee finishes 1st, if we get the 3rd seed and Milwaukee finishes 1st, that means that we avoid the Bucks until the Eastern Conference Finals. And by then, I hate to say it, but injuries are a real thing. By then, the Bucks may have suffered a key injury or 2 by that point, and they could be compromised. You never know. It's happened already before. Let's see. It may happen again. I think it's a possibility, and the Knicks might actually be able to slip past the Bucks and truly shock the world, like completely, utterly blow the world's mind. And I think every single Knicks fan would sign up for that immediately. Now, I want to look at something else. This is what I want to look at. I'm looking at, this is from Cleaning the Glass. These are all the stats from Cleaning the Glass. This is for the full season. Okay, the Knicks are 38-27. They have, in terms of offensive points per possession, okay, points per possession, the Knicks are tied. Well, they're 3rd right here, 118.2. Boston is right below them, 118.2. There might be a slight variation there because they didn't put it as tied for 3rd. So we're 3rd. We're just less than a point behind Denver and 1 point behind Sacramento. So we are now the top offense in the Eastern Conference. Yes, top offense. And then when you look at even points differential, we are 7th in point differential. There we are. Overall points differential. Now, this is the whole season. And this team has gotten better and better as we've moved along. So there's a very good possibility we're going to stick there. We're going to stay in that zone right now that we're in and continue to outperform our opponents. Right now, we're a +3.5 in points differential. Fantastic. Fantastic. Now, let's keep going. Let's look at now, I want us to look at the actual players and why is it possible for this team to get to the NBA Finals without, whatever, a quote superstar. Well, I already said last night in the post-game recap that we do have 2 superstars. Right now, Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson are both playing like bona fide superstars themselves. And that whether they have been doing over several years, that's neither here nor there. All that matters is the remaining 17 games and the remaining 3 series that they have to play to get into the NBA Finals. That's it. That's it. That's all that's stopping their way. And the way Julius is playing and Jalen Brunson are playing, I like our chances. And we have an excellent support group for those 2 guys. But let me get into this here. So look at Jalen Brunson. These are looking at all the point guards in the NBA. And in terms of points scored per attempt, which is truly the most important number, in my opinion, in terms of point guards, Brunson is right there. He is 8th amongst all point guards in the NBA. 8th right there. Just behind D'Angelo Russell, De'Aaron Fox, Luka Doncic, SGA, James Harden, Dame Lillard, and number 1 is Steph Curry with 136.6 points. What a crazy number that he's got up there. Brunson's, outdoing Darius Garland. He's outdoing Drew Holiday, Trae Young, Mike Conley, all these guys. So right there, he is a bona fide top 10 point guard. He's a top 8 point guard in the NBA. There you go. Now, look at Mitch. In terms of points differential, Mitch right now is right there just below Giannis with a point differential of 7.8. Oh, wait, let me go back to this. So just so you guys remind you guys about the way cleaning the glass works, the percent of those orange numbers, those are percentiles. So Brunson's in the 80th percentile of points scored per attempt. But if it's blue, that's bad. Now look at turnover percentage. Look at Brunson. He's number 1. He's the number 1 point guard in terms of fewest turnovers, in terms of turnover percentage rate. And he's a 98th percentile, which is fantastic. Let's go back to this. So Mitch is an 89 percentile in differential from all centers. These are all the bigs with a plus 7.8 differential himself. But when you look at his field goal percentage, when he's on the court, the offensive field goal percentage is 89 percentile, a plus 3.0. Same with points per possession, a plus 4.0, 80 percentile. So we have a bona fide top 10 type of center right there playing for us. And he is now playing better than he has ever played, in my opinion. And I think he's going to just keep getting better. He's just going to keep getting better. Right now, he's figured something out about it. His physicality, the extra weight he put on, I think he dropped a few of the pounds. His conditioning is on point right now. I'm seeing that spring, that hop return. It's really exciting. And there it is right there with the best centers, best bigs in the game. Giannis, Miles Turner, Steve Adams, Bam Adebayo. We just saw Joel Embiid, Durant, Draymond Green, LeBron James, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Nikola Jokic right there. So that is the company that our guy Mitch Robinson keeps. So we got a top point guard, we got a top center, and we have a top power forward. If not, maybe he's definitely in the top 5 power forwards in the NBA currently. Here he is. This is points per possession on offense, a 97 percentile for Julius Randle, which is second best in the NBA, just behind Aaron Gordon. Julius has a plus 10.5. And in terms of field goal percentage, he's also second best E-field goal percentage, plus 4.0. Now, in terms of differential, he's in the 69th percentile. It's a plus 3.0, which is not as, sexy right there. But in terms of offensive production, it's fantastic. He, you can see the points per possession on the defense when he's on the court is in the 6th percentile. So something is dragging that starting unit down in terms of defense. And I'll get to it. Here he is. So this is Randle down here. That's his points differential of 3.0. Kind of in the neighborhood there. It's nothing that exciting. That's the one stat that's really not that exciting at all. But let's keep going to look at our wings. Now, I would have thought Emmanuel Quickley would have been considered a combo guard. So I think that's kind of odd that he's listed as a wing in cleaning the glass, but it doesn't matter. It still helps us tell our story. And as you can see, in terms of points differential, right up there, Josh Hart with a plus 9.1 in the 91 percentile. And Emmanuel Quickley is also in the 91 percentile for a plus 8.6. Now, those two guys are closing a lot of games now with Randle and Brunson. And I'll finish the story when it comes down to the why. And it's because of their defense, which is just tremendous. But look at Quentin Grimes down there. He's a plus 1.7 in the 62 percentile. And he's got a lot of high percentile numbers there, especially on offense. A 74 percentile in terms of points scored per attempt. E-field goal percentage, he's a 73. And then I believe that's rebounding percentage. But let's keep going. So, no, that was turnover percentage, the other one. So Emmanuel Quickley, in terms of defense, in terms of holding the opponent to as few points as possible per 100 possessions, Emmanuel Quickley is number 1 in the NBA in terms of wings. A 99 percentile, a minus 11.5. So when he's on the court, opponents score on average 11.5 points less when he's on the court. And then right behind that is Josh Hart. Josh Hart is an 87 percentile. Well, actually, this was for e-field goal percentage. Sorry, I blew that. It's e-field goal percentage, but also it's the same story. Emmanuel Quickley is at 100. He's at 100 percentile. So opponents' e-field goal percentages go down a minus 6.6 when Quickley's on the court, and when Josh Hart's on the court, a minus 2.1 for an 82 percentile. So two of the top 6 wings in the NBA in terms of defensive e-field goal percentage is Josh Hart and Emmanuel Quickley. Now, this is the one I thought it was before. This is points per 100 possessions. Josh Hart is 4th with a minus 5.1, 87 percentile, just behind Damian Lee and Franz Wagner. But right above number 1 in the entire NBA is Emmanuel Quickley with a minus 11.5, 99 percentile. Outstanding. So we have elite wings. Elite wings here. 2 of them. Well, I would consider Quickley a combo guard, so he is also in the elite 6 man of the year, and I already made the case that he should win 6 man of the year this season. So now we have Josh Hart coming in to completely, when he comes in, the game changes in terms of defense. It's fantastic. Now, this is, what was this one? This is the points differential. Okay. This is the points differential. Show you the best. Number 1 is Michael Porter. Number 2, their old guy, Alec Burks. Then Franz Wagner. Then Josh Hart is 4th. Paul George is 5th. Devin Booker is 6th. And Emmanuel Quickley is 7th, right above Klay Thompson, Tyler Hero, Timmy Hardaway Jr., Buddy Hield, and the rest right there. So we have elite wings, my friends. Elite wings. But we also have the worst wing in the NBA in terms of points differential. RJ Barrett is last, according to Cleaning the Glass, for all players that qualified. They had to play at least 1,000 minutes this season. RJ Barrett is a minus 11.7. That means when he's on the court per 100 possessions, the Knicks are getting outscored an average of 11.7 points per game. That is devastating. That is a devastating number, and I see it as a good sign. Yes. Because you kind of, either you stay down there and the Knicks still keep winning, or he actually improves. And then if he improves, those playoff series become very winnable for the New York Knicks. Very, very winnable. And to support this, here you go. This is looking at Barrett's career team efficiency and 4 factors numbers right here. He has had somewhat an efficient season before, and it was his second season. And it was the last time the Knicks went to the playoffs. The 2020-21 season, when RJ Barrett was on the court, the team was a plus 0.1 for a 53rd percentile. So it is possible for him, or even last season, he was just a minus 7.1. Minus an 11.7 is a devastating number. If he improves in any way at all, if he focuses on his defense, which it seems like he has since the All-Star break. Since the All-Star break, he has played much better defense than he was before, but he has a long way to go. He has to improve much more so. And I believe that he has it in him. I like that Thibs left him out there in the fourth quarter during that stretch there. I thought that was excellent. They needed the extra length that he provides, the rebounding that he gives you, especially because the Heat they're kind of tall. They're kind of big. Well, not in the middle, but in terms of their wings. Tyler Hero's got good size. So he played an important role, but he must improve. Must improve. All of his numbers this season are below water. You can see there's only one stat line. His turnover percentage is at a 63 percentile for a wing. For a wing. So he's cut down on his turnovers, which is kind of shocking. But his turnovers in the fourth quarter have been devastating. So if he can just focus on what he does right, what he does well, make better decisions in terms of shot attempts, and look for his teammates, become more of a playmaker on offense, that'll be fantastic. But on defense, he must become the lockdown type of defender that he wants to be. Now, is he going to do that in the next 17 games? Probably not. But can he improve his defense by 30%, 40%? I think it's possible. It comes down to effort. It comes down to floor positioning, just never giving up on a play, because a lot of times he kind of gives up on it. Taking some charges. I saw him try to take a charge the other night. He didn't get the call, but I saw him try. He does those little things. He does those Josh Hart type things. This team could be very, very devastating. Woo! Let's go. Oh, man. Look at that. What a great time to be a Knicks fan. Great time. So how do you guys think? What do you guys think? I mean, I find it incredibly ironic that it comes down because also Quentin Grimes can also fill the role that I'm asking for RJ to fill. He can. He'll have to improve himself. Right now, he's getting his defensive numbers aren't as spectacular as you would think, based upon the eye test, and a lot of it is because he's often having to defend the best offensive player on the other team. So your numbers are not going to, unless you are just a total defensive player of the year candidate. Your numbers are going to suffer in terms, but he is doing the job in terms of forcing the best offensive player on the other team to underperform. And that's all we want from him. And that's what we want from RJ as well. But it's ironic that RJ, who was our number 3 pick, is the key to getting this team to the 3rd seed and to the NBA Finals. It's going to be exciting. Fingers crossed. Let's hope. Let's win. Let's beat Boston. And please subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, and drop your comments. I want to hear your thoughts and feelings. And I will see you around the Knicks-Verse.